show you about precast models. Okay, how we can create precast model. So for that, let's go to this. Okay, let's go to this file. So before creating your precast model, you must have your structural model ready, because the precast model we don't create like all other architectural model or the structural model. We generally do uh, you can say the convert or create assemblies out of the existing structural model. Okay, so I have this structural model ready where we have this structural walls, these structural floors, right? And out of that, we will create our precast assemblies. So how we can do that? Go to precast, and there first you need to configure. You need to generate all the precast elements. Then only, as per the configuration, you can create the assemblies. Okay. And one thing I'm again mentioning, that you must have your structural elements already in the project, and out of that you can only convert them into precast assemblies. So here you can see that this is the structural wall which we have created, and for that, go to this configuration, and it will ask you that in order to proceed with this command, precast dependent elements need to be loaded. A template that contains all default family is located in this folder. So click on OK. These all will be loaded. So here you can see that these are being loaded right now. So just wait. Okay. Now you can see that this is the window where we will set all the configuration. Let me close it. And now what I'll do, I will enable this. Okay. So the recreation of the precast animation, when you change anything, so all these things will be automatically recreated. Okay, if you change anything. So we need to enable it. Okay, so this is enabled right now, and it's asking to select right now. Okay, so any like this wall, if you want to select, after that, go for finish. And right now, no precast assemblies is there. So I'll go with the configuration again. So you need to set the configuration. Okay, so I have done the enable thing so that if you change anything, it will update itself. It will reconfigure. So that you need to enable. Now after configuration, you must click on OK. Okay. You need to click on this OK option. So let's go for this configuration. Let's do the changes and all. Let's set all the configuration, and then we will click on OK. And here you can see that this is the data folder location for all this. Now you can go to the part. So all the part of your precast uh, assembly or precast model, we have some lifters. These lifters we generally lift the precast model and then we place it at site. So we have this solid for the solid wall. We have this lifter. This is the lifter. Okay. So generally this is the default one, and minimum distance to edge and minimum top distance to opening. So if there is any opening in the wall, so what will be the top distance for that? And tension capacity and side lifters if height exists. So these are the settings which we have right now. You can go for the segmentation if you want to set what will be the segment length and all, the height and all, and the maximum weight. So you can select, you can define as per the concrete or the material uh, density and weight. And as per that length, you can calculate what will be the maximum weight. And horizontal gap, vertical gap, minimum distance to openings, and we have this reinforcement. So if you are providing any reinforcement, the we have the area reinforcement and edge reinforcement. What will be the edge reinforcement type and area reinforcement type? So for each, we have this edit option. For this reinforcement, I will show you later. Uh, and we can create shop drawings for our uh, precast models. So we can easily generate shop drawings, and for shop drawings, what will be the shop drawing template? That is the page or the title block, what title block will be used, and the dimension, all the dimension will be placed. So we can easily generate. I will show you, that will be very exciting. Let me click on OK. And this is for all the concrete members. And we have the wall, solid wall, multi-layered wall. For all these, we have shop drawings. We have slab, solid slab, hollow core slab, girder slab. For all of these elements, we have reinforcement on and built-in parts, annotation, and dimensioning. So these things you can provide, like here. Right now, nothing is loaded. Uh, and this is something for uh, manufacturing related for your CAM. Okay, so these things you have to mention. Okay, these things, these all these details. Now let me click on OK, and then I will go for split to create segments. So this option is applicable for your wall, floors, and slabs. So now I'll select this wall as per the length, and there you have mentioned the segmentation, what will be the minimum length and maximum length, and it will be divided equally as per this length. Okay, if suppose you have uh, you what is the length, you can check. Let me go to level 1 and let me go to realistic. You can check what is the length of this. Let me choose it. Okay, 29671 is the length, and it will equally divide. Okay, that segmentation configuration. So you have set that maximum length will be 8,000. So it will create all the assembly length maximum 8,000, and accordingly it will divide the number of parts. So let's go to 3D, and now let me go to the precast tab, and there we have this split option, and I will select it and then go for finish, and this will be created as per the configuration. And there you can see this is created. You can go to the level 1 there, and there you can see this is the part HI, the shortcut, and then I'll go to modify, and here you can see 3145 is the length of this. You can go to precast and configuration, and for the solid wall segmentation, and there you can see that it is divided in between that maximum length and minimum length, it will never exceed the maximum wall length and all these maximum properties. And as per the total length of the wall, the dividation is completed. Okay, and here you can see that how many number of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 number of assemblies are created. Okay, and out of that, you can go for edit assembly, and if you want to add anything in this, you
Excuse
can
me, sir.
add or remove. Yes.
But actually, I don't find a precast option, sir.
If you are using older version than 2020, you
Yes,
will not get it.
yes, sir.
You must
Okay,
have 2020.
okay,
Yes, go with the 2020 or the upper version.
okay.
Okay, so here you can understand. All right. And now you see that these are the lifters which we have mentioned. As per that, these lifters are there available. And if you want to use it as a shear wall, you want to provide reinforcement also. So you can go with this reinforcement. So you just choose the walls. Suppose I'm using these two walls and then go for finish. And here it's asking for the area reinforcement type and the edge reinforcement type. So during the configuration, if you have mentioned, so just click OK now. And if you haven't mentioned, so then go for edit. All right. So here you can see that the rebar 2 layer is selected. As per that, I'm going for edit. If you're applying rebar 1 layer, so you just select that and go for edit, and within that you will be placing. So the position where it will be placed at center. So for the center, we will not be applying cover offset, and uh, rebar horizontal direction in vertical direction. The rebar type is 10 mm. Yes, I guess this is 10 mm dia. Okay, and the distance is selected. You can go for the maximum distance. Then the maximum distance it will be placed, and accordingly. Uh, the number of rebars will be divided. I hope you remember during the reinforcement in columns and in the foundation, we had applied this maximum distance, and accordingly the number of uh, rebars are placed within that particular structural member. This is the same thing. It will be divided uh, as per your precast member length and the bar direction, that is correct, and the distribution offset. So from the start, this is the offset, from the end this will be the offset. Okay, so that's what we need. All right, so and bar length offset, that's we will not apply any length offset. Okay, so let's click on OK. And about the edge reinforcement type, so you can go for corner bars, or if you are applying with L bars or any straight bars, so you can choose those. So corner bars, you can go for edit and the rebar type and all. Okay, so you can choose it, and then you can click on OK. So here you can see that it's now showing the user defined reinforcement, and for this it's showing the corner bars, the original one. Why is it so? Because in the configuration this settings hasn't been changed. For this rebar one layer, this settings has not been changed in the configuration. I'm only applying it for these particular two precast members. For these particular two members, I have only changed. So that's why it's showing you user defined reinforcement. If you have applied in the configuration option, then you can just only choose this rebar one layer and it will show you as it is, like this corner bar. I haven't applied any editing option. Okay, so like for this corner bar, number of layers you can go for two, and I will go for 50 into dia. That will be 650 overlapping length. All right, and cutout dimension you can apply. What will be the cutout dimension? And then click on OK. And now you can see that this is showing you user defined reinforcement, and click on OK. And this will generate, and here you can see the reinforcement has been applied for these two particular walls. And now if I go for configuration, and the reinforcement and this rebar two layer and one layer, so I had edited in the one layer. You can click on OK, and there you can see that everything is the same. And for the corner bars you can go for edit, and there you can see that this is the default one. So here if you change, and while applying the reinforcement, if you go for those particular configuration, it will not show you the user defines. You are using that the configuration listed option, right? So this is the difference. And now let me show you that if you go for wireframe, and here you can see that these reinforcement are added. Okay, and the detail level looks fine. And you select this reinforcement. You already know that there is a view visibility settings, and for 3D view, view as solid should be checked, and click on OK. And then you can go for realistic, and just a second. Let me go for the wireframe. Let me select this view visibility settings, view unobscured. Okay, so here you can see, and for the horizontal ones also, I had to select, go for wireframe. Okay, for this also visibility settings, view as solid, view on scope, view on obscured, click on OK, and go for realistic. Okay. Now suppose if you have any opening in your wall. So in the precast we have already configured, right, uh, the segmentation, uh, the minimum distance to openings, there it is mentioned 500, right? And accordingly these will be applicable. All right, so now let me go to architecture. We have this wall opening. You can go to the structure, and there also you have the same wall opening. You can choose any one, either from the architecture or from the structure. uh, it will not create any such difference. So you can go with this wall opening, and you can create on this particular wall, and there you can see that this is created. Okay, and now let me go for this wireframe. And you can select these all. go for this view as solid and all. Let me go for realistic. And now you can see that this is, these are exceeding, right? But this is not actually. Okay. So it is properly created. Don't worry about that. Right. So what you can do, you can also create it first. The wall opening, you can create it first. Select this wall and then there you can create this opening. Okay, and now if you want to adjust the size for this wall opening, you can select it, and with this grip you can adjust the size, and you can go to the elevation. From that elevation view, you properly adjust this opening size and all. So I'm just doing it randomly. I hope you can understand. And after creating it, you can go to the precast, and then you can go for reinforcement. Select this wall. Okay. When you select this, you will get this minus symbol if you place this mouse pointer again on the same wall. And when the walls is not selected, you will get that plus symbol with your mouse pointer. When you select, you will get that minus symbol if you place a mouse pointer on the same wall. So it is already selected. You can see that the minus symbol is visible, and you can go for finish. And there you can either selected this rebar one layer, corner bars, and click on OK. And this is created. Okay. So you can do this thing. So better you create your opening and then go for the reinforcement. It will be properly visible. Okay. So that I will suggest you. And after that, you can see that there is an option, create views. Okay, we can create views out of it. So for this particular member, I can create these much of views, and I can use view template. So in the architectural classes, you have already learned how to uh, create view templates and what is about the view templates. So you can create the view templates for these particular views. So we can generate 3D views, plan views, section views, top views, and we can generate material takeoff, rebar schedule. Okay, so that is possible. And now what I can do, I can disassemble. I can remove the assembly relationship with all these precast members. So I can remove this. And here you can see that edit caused the last instance of an assembly type to be deleted. The assembly type was removed from the project browser. So that is right now a normal part. You can see that this is a normal part. It's not showing you as a part assembly. So here you can see that when I'm selecting these, it's showing you as the part assembly, and there you can the naming category, there you can mention. Okay, so everything you get like a part of your assembly. Okay. And for this, you can go to its edit type, and there you can mention all the things. And this is not the part of your uh, assembly. All right. This is not the part of your assembly. Here you can see that this is like a normal part, and you cannot go for the edit type. Okay. You can do all the things. You can divide some parts also. You can apply the rebars and all. Right. So keep it as assemble. Don't disassemble if it is not needed. Okay. And now I'll go to the shop drawing option. So we can create shop drawing. So for that, we have to select before creating a shop drawing. before creating a shop drawing, go to the configuration, and for each recast element, you have this shop drawing option. For the wall, what will be the shop drawing template? What will be the center of gravity mark? Okay, and the dimension type. So in every drawing sheet, the views will be created, and with the views, all the dimensions will be placed in every views. So you don't have to worry about placing dimensions and fixing dimensions. So you just have to define the dimension type. You can go to annotation, and there you can customize this. You can go to annotation, and there you can customize the dimension style. You already know. Uh, and there you can choose the distance, dimension lines distance, and dimension line description. What will be the extension outline? Okay. So for each element, we have this shop drawing. So for each element, you have to define. And if you are going with the default one, so you don't have to change it. But for each element, you have to come to this configuration shop drawing, and there you have to define. Fine. And now suppose you are not including them in the shop drawings, but you need to generate the views. So for that, go to create views. Fine. Now let me okay. So for this one, I will create a shop drawing. So for that, I will go to this shop drawing option. I will select it, and then I will go for finish. All right, so here you can see that this sheet is created. You come down to the family. Okay, so come down to this family list, and there you will get that structural precast. Sorry, come to this assembly option, as because these are assemblies. So this is your SolidWorld 005. So come down to the SolidWorld 005, and there you can see that this plus symbol is created. So that means there are sub components. Open this tree, and now you can see that this is the sheet which we have opened right now. It's showing you in the bold. That means this is the active view right now, and within this sheet, these views are created. Okay, so from this, you can take out, take these views out, and you can place it in other sheet. Okay, so these views are created, and this is the view, the 3D view. Okay, so uh, here you can see that these are the views which we have generally created. Okay, and if you need any other views, so what you can do, you can go to 3D, select that, and then create a view. Okay, create a particular view, like what I don't have. I can choose that, like this section A. So I'll choose this section A, and the sheet is this solid wall A3 sheet. I will select that, and then click on OK. And here you can see that this one is created. So just a second. Let me go to this again, create views, and I will uncheck this sheet and this view. I will click on OK. And now this is the detail section view. Okay, this is the detail section A, which is created. So here it is. All right. within this solid wall 005. This is the section view. This is the section A, and you can add it within this sheet. So just you can drag and drop like this. You can place it. So here it is not needed to place. Okay, so here you can see that these views are created, and this is the material takeoff for this particular, and the rebar list is there. So let me just remove it to the side, and let me place it over there. Okay, and you can include all the project details and information over there. Okay, so here you can see that every details are mentioned, all these uh, annotations are available. So you can just double click on it to activate this view, and within this view you can change the dimension if it is needed. So from here you can change it also. So from here you can go to the type selector, and you can select which type of dimension you want to select, and you can apply it and double click outside to get into this page view. So it's like the same in AutoCAD. You double click in the viewport, you activate the model space, and in the paper space, double click, you get that paper space. Similarly, you activate by double clicking the viewport, and you activate the paper space, double clicking out of that area. Okay. So this is how we generally create shop drawings. So shop drawings is the drawings where all the details for fabrication and manufacturing are provided, all the estimations are provided. Okay. So what views you should include? You should include uh, the plan view, the elevation, the section view, the detail view, and the 3D view, and the material takeoff, the estimation, and all the project details you should include. Okay. Now go to 3D view, and here we have this custom fabric sheet option is available. So let me select it, go for finish. Just a second. Let me go for this custom fabric sheet. Let me go for wireframe, custom fabric sheet. Mm, Let me go to this custom. Okay, about this custom fabric shade, I'm coming this part later. Now let me create also for the uh, slabs and floors. So for that, I will go to the split. Before that, let me configure. I will create solid slab. So for that, you can go to the segmentation and you can go for the minimum slab width. So there you can mention the minimum slab width will be 1500 and the maximum slab width will be uh, 3000. And for that, what will be the maximum weight? So definitely the maximum weight will be increased. So you can go for like okay, and let me click on OK. And now I'll go for split. And now let me select this. And now let me go for finish. And what type of floor you want to create? Solid slab or hollow core slab, girder slab. So I have changed the definition for solid slab. So I'll click on that and could not perform segmentation according to the preset configuration. So there are the settings. It cannot be performed by this. So let me change the maximum slab width, like let's go for 6000. Now let me click on OK. Let me check it. Go for split. Let me select this slab. Go for finish, solid slab. Click on OK. So it cannot be uh, done. So again, go for the configuration. So here, let me change it to 1000. Click on OK. And here also the same. We will go for 3000. Click on OK. Now let me go for the split again and go for finish, solid slab. Cannot be created. Uh, so as per the, I think as per the family, solid family, which we have loaded, uh, minimum slab width, I think, let me get into 750. Okay, and let's keep it as it is. Now let me select it, go for finish, click on OK, and now it's created. Okay, so I think as per the slab family, which we are getting, as per that, and some filters couldn't be placed with the preset configuration. Okay, some lifters, not all lifters could be placed. So as per the configuration, not all the lifters. So here you can see that these are the lifters. So in shifting direction, you can go for like two, you can go for 10. Click on OK. Now let me go for split again. Now let me choose this one and I will go for finish. Click on OK. Okay, so here also we are getting some issues for these lifters. So some lifters are not created properly. I think because there we are getting this dividation. I think because of that. Uh, as per I can see that some lifters are properly created. All the lifters are properly placed. Maybe some lifters should be added manually again. So we can also do that. Manually, we can add some lifters also. So this is how we generally create. Okay. And for this also, you can go for the reinforcement. You can go for the reinforcement. You can select it, and make sure before that you have done the right settings in the configuration. There you have this solid slab. There you have this solid slab, and within that you have this reinforcement. So you can go for this solid slab fabric reinforcement. You can go for this. So you can choose, okay, the position, top or bottom, the cover offset. So you can choose the cover offset, the maximum distance. Okay, so you can choose. I'm going with this default, and now let me click on OK. And for this, I'll go with this reinforcement. I'll select that, click on finish, and here you can choose this one, click on OK. Just hold on, and here it is created. Okay. Now let me go for custom fabric sheet. This one is selected. Now let me go for finish. Okay, so about this custom fabric sheet, I will show you in the next class. Okay, so this is all about how we can convert our structural element into precast members, precast assemblies for walls and floors and slabs with the right configuration. And then from that, we can generate the shop drawings with particular views and material takeoffs. Okay, so this is all about today, and in the next class I will cover about these custom fabric sheet and about this mounting part. Okay, so this is all for today.
सर
Yes.
सर एक्चुअली हम लोग के पास तो 2019 है तो 2020 तो नहीं है ना।
हाँ, तो 20 डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा।
ठीक है, देखता हूँ फिर।
ठीक है।
और सर मेरा
अ,
दोस्त क्या था, हाँ जी, हाँ सर बोल लीजिए।
हाँ, हमारे आईटी का एक हमारे आईटी मेंबर का नंबर होगा, उनसे
हाँ हाँ।
कांटेक्ट कर सकते हो
हम्म।
फॉर 2020। ओके, हाँ बोलो।
सर एक्चुअली मैंने सर एक ऑटोकैड ड्राइंग को ना रिविट के साथ लिंक किया था। तो ग्राउंड
हम्म।
फ्लोर बेसमेंट के लिए अलग ड्राइंग है उसका, एंड ग्राउंड
हम्म।
फ्लोर के लिए अलग ड्राइंग है, तो कैसे एक साथ
हम्म।
करूँगा?
कैसे एक साथ करोगे? क्या एक साथ करोगे?
हाँ मतलब ग्राउंड जब मैंने बेसमेंट में कर रहा हूँ, बेसमेंट के लेवल में उसका वॉल पिक कर रहा हूँ, तो बेसमेंट को बना रहा हूँ, लेकिन जब उसका ही ग्राउंड फ्लोर में जा रहा हूँ तब तो ग्राउंड फ्लोर का ड्राइंग लेना पड़ेगा ना।
मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, थोड़ा
मैं
स्क्रीन शेयर करके बताओ।
शेयर कर रहा हूँ।
ठीक है। ओके, तो मैं रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप करता हूँ।